guys, we replaced a left rear axle on a 2012 Ram 1500 two-wheel drive bighorn. As you can see, the bearing went bad and it literally ate just about a 1/4 inch gap. I know it's hard to see in the video, but it ate all the way through this thing. There was metal all in the rear end. We took a magnet and ran it through the rear end like probably 200 to 300 times. I did it for like 3 hours straight, just putting it in there and pulling it out. I stuck a vacuum cleaner hose in there with napkins attached to it to suck some of the metal up and the fluid to clean everything out. We put a lot of effort into cleaning it to save some money. I didn't want to pay $4 grand to get a new rear end put in this because shops don't clean rear ends. They only replace them. So that's what I did. Alright YouTube, we're about to try our first axle repair. My wheel bearing in here broke. As you can see, all the fluid that's out. Sorry to pine straws, leaf blower in my yard, but the wheel bearing broke, messed up the axle, and it's a mess. I mean, it slung oil and grease, whatever the hell you want to call it, everywhere, fluid, and they want like $4,000 to put a new rear end in it. Nobody will work on it, so I'm gonna replace the bearing, replace the axle, and clean everything out and put it back together and run it till it breaks again, I guess, because I'm not paying $4,000 for that. So we'll see if the engineer here can tackle this project as a mechanic for a day. But yeah, I'll keep y'all posted. I recommend replacing the seals and bearings on both sides if you're gonna take out one side, and who knows, your other axle might look bad too. So mine was fine. Mine only had a little bit of grooving on it. I just cleaned it off and it was good. This is the brand new axle we put in, and hopefully you can figure this out like we did. Guys, just a reminder, make sure you loosen your lug nuts before you jack the truck up so that they're easier to come off. You're gonna need 2 jack stands, jack. I use four-way lug wrench to get the wheels off. You're gonna need a socket set, a couple other random tools. I'll go on about those as we go through the video. So I ordered brand new bearings and seals for both sides. We're gonna replace both axle bearings and both axle seals. I got a left rear axle we're gonna replace. This is the right side, and then I'm also going to change my rotors, pads, and my studs while I'm at it. And we'll put the brakes on at the end. I'll just go ahead and show that too if somebody wants to see it. But yeah, we got the new axle in, and we're gonna replace it, grease everything up, put those bearings and seals in, and it shouldn't be that bad. And I'll go through it step by step. This video is more for like someone that has no idea what they're doing than someone that needs a quick video. So guys, once you got the wheel off, make sure you take the rotor, caliper off, and then we'll be able to see the axle once we take all of that off. You're gonna need a 21mm socket and a 10mm socket to take the caliper off. Make sure you spread the caliper before you take it off so that you don't have to do it afterwards. Alright, so you need a 10mm bolt for this back part for the caliper. There's 2 of those bolts you got to take off. Need a tripod. And then once you take those off, the next set of bolts is 21mm. Make sure you stick something behind the pad and spread it. That way the caliper is expanded. When you put it on, you can just put it straight on. If not, you got to get a damn caliper spreader.
C-clamp.
Or, yeah, C-clamp. Or a pair of channel lock pliers. But this makes it way easier. And we're replacing these rotors and pads and everything. Just not the calipers. And then he's taking those bolts off the back. And then there's that part. Alright, now he's taking off the 21mm bolt. That's the rest of it for the caliper. You remember what direction your pads was in, because some cars, they're different on each side.
That's why I did it just like this.
One of these on, it's a bitch to get off. You're gonna need a screwdriver and some pliers. What it looks like with the brakes off. That's the emergency brake, this little pad right here. And then that's the axle. We're gonna take the axle out and replace the studs. If you're replacing the studs like we're doing, go ahead and knock them out before you take the axle out. We're not replacing this axle, we're replacing the other side. But we knocked them loose, it's easier to do it now. Side where it broke, as you can see, there's fluid everywhere. It's disgusting in here. So you're gonna need a 14mm hex head to get the drain plug emptied for the differential. That's what we're gonna do next. But you gotta, there's the drain plug, and then the fill plug is right there, as you see. That's where I check the fluid, and we're gonna loosen that one and go ahead and get it draining. All right, he's taking the hex head out. I'll show y'all. It's gonna shoot out now, so y'all be ready. You can unscrew that bolt by hand, Tim.
I didn't want to get squirted.
You gonna get squirted regardless.
There go your hand.
I can't, I'm just squishing it.
Here, Timmy.
Dude, it's filling up. Is it open?
Yeah, it's open.
You sure?
It has 2 holes in it. It drains slow, so it can catch like debris and metal and stuff. So I'd actually pull it closer to you, so it, oh god dang, it's full for real.
It's better to go over the side.
It'd be alright. It's almost empty.
It's almost done.
Once my squirts that, it didn't even get that.
Well, let's give that a...
So to take off these differential bolts, you need a 1/2-inch socket.
You can use that for
and take all of them off. Make sure you leave the top one up, one of them. That way you can let it drain, and you don't got to hold the pan lid while it's draining. We got all the bolts off. This is what it looks like. And then once we get this last one off, we're going to pry this plate off. Ours was glued on good, so we don't have to leave that top bolt in. We're just going to peel it off. Alright guys, this is what the differential looks like once you take it all off. You got to scrape all that red stuff off. That's the RTV gasket maker, whatever the hell you want to call it. But we're going to we got to rotate the wheel. I got to put it in neutral first. And take this pin out. And when you take this pin out, there's going to be some C-clips. If you can see, this is the spider gears. And that right there is the axle. We're going to have to push the axle in so we can take the C-clamps off. Once we take the C-clamps off, this in there, it's hard to focus on this. Oh, you might be able to see it on this side. But that little round piece is the end of the axle. So we need to take that clamp off of there once we get that pin out. And there's a bolt that will show that you can take out. Guys, that little bolt right there, that's where we had to rotate the diff. We use those big bolts on the left side with a screwdriver to rotate it, but to get it here. And make sure your truck's in neutral. And then we just got to take this bolt loose so that we can slide that pin out.
How about now?
Yeah, I see it.
But is it where you can get it out?
I'm looking to see the bottom part of it needs to come out more. See this C-clamp?
Where'd the hammer go?
It's behind you. See that little clamp, Chad, on the edge of this round piece? We gotta get that clamp out, and the axle's kind of fucked up, so make sure you find out which way it was facing. Alright, so we used a bearing puller. You'll have to get a hammer puller kit to get it out. I couldn't record it because it was beating the shit out of it, but there's a seal that goes right here where this red stuff is, and then the bearing goes right up against here, and it's all the way through. The axle will spin on that piece. That's what was damaged. So I'm gonna show y'all. This is the bearing. It literally, broke in half. You can see all the little pieces on, they broke out. And there's metal in my differential, but we're gonna clean the metal out with a magnet, some brake spray, and try to salvage it until it breaks next time. But that's what we did. The hammer puller, I already did. You yank it out like this, It's pretty simple. It has the instructions on the box. But once you get it all out, we bought a long magnet and we're taking it, running in there and collecting the metal. It hasn't made it to the diff yet.
This one goes into the bearing like that, and then that goes behind the bearing. Show this part, show this part. And then you just keep doing it till the bearing comes out.
Yep, and it pulls the bearing and the seal out together. And that's for that part. Now we're
cleaning it out.
We're cleaning it out
the best we can.
And then we're gonna put it back together. Well guys, this has been the biggest pain in my ass ever. There's tons of metal in here. We've ran this magnet in and out of here about 300 times and I'm still getting metal out, so yeah, it almost ain't worth it. But I'm twisting it, grabbing as much metal as I can. There's a magnet on the end of this, and I'll show y'all what it looks like. I've gotten the majority out of it, but I want to get all of it out. I don't want to have this problem again. That bearing breaking messed it up. But as you can see, there's metal on the end of this magnet. So yeah, wipe, stick, and pull. That's about all we gotta do. Alright guys, y'all gotta make sure y'all grease the bearing really well before you put it in there, and the seal as well. Best thing to do is beat that seal in with a piece of wood or something. It was hard to get in. I ain't been able to video a lot of this, but
that's it, guys. Now all we gotta do is put the C-clamp and put the bolts in, and we're done.
Yep, and then put the brakes back together. We're almost done, Chad.
Yes, sir.
Alright guys, he's putting that C-clamp back in. It's hard to see in there, but well, you pretty much just putting it back the way you got it in there.
Tim. Pull it out. Yeah, far as it'll go. Hold on. It's not. Try it now.
We're just trying to line it up.
There it went.
It's easier with two people. Then we got to push this rod back in and put that last bolt back in there.
Come pull this side out over here, Tim. I don't think it's all the way.
Yeah, pull it out towards you a little bit.
Actually, I think both of them need to go out. Whoa. Yep, that was it. That was it, Tim.
And then that little pin.
It's on that other cardboard if somebody hand it to me.
What you need?
Oh, you gotta say it again.
Huh?
You gotta say it again.
Cheesy knife from Timu.
We're using some Loctite to put this bolt back on so it doesn't slide out.
Yeah, and you just need a little bit. Just a touch.
Y'all probably
That's
think
good.
we're stupid, but
Just a little bit on there. If you do too much, you won't get it off. Oh, we gotta turn this. Hold this bolt. Not by the threads.
I'm holding
I was
it.
wanting to get the tip. Just the tip, man. Just the tip.
Alright, we're lining it back up to where we can put the bolt in. Y'all see that little groove right there? You gotta get the bolt hole lined up with that. I've seen different people grabbing it with by the teeth. Don't do that. That's stupid. Do like we're doing, where you grab by the bolts.
They don't give you much room to work with. Best thing to do, take it to the shop, let a professional do it.
Yeah, unless you're really broke, you might be worth it. And an indoor shop with air conditioning.
Here morning, I'll have it. Right. Bolt. Thank you, sir.
And we are not professionals.
I got a pen.
Yep. We're doing this on a prayer. Alright, well, y'all see this part, so I'm gonna pause it. Alright guys, for this seal maker stuff, you want to kind of put it in this pattern, circle around the bolts.
Just need a little bit, not a whole lot, because it'll, once you put the bolts in, it'll mash everywhere.
Yep. There'll be excess, and it'll just spew out the side, and you can wipe it off. It ain't no big deal. But we're doing this to make sure it's and make sure you clean all the seal stuff from the last time on here. If you leave it on there, this stuff isn't going to stick, so you have to make sure you
Did you quit touching it?
I was getting that piece of hair off of it.
It wasn't hair, it's just
There, I got it. But there, now it's all nice and ugly. Do you need some right here? Because they had it in that big gap.
well, you got these big ass holes. I mean, it ain't gonna leak. It's all out here.
Yeah, I mean, once you got the outer.
Alright, we're going through the bottom. Put this back on, guys. Just be careful not to get silicone everywhere.
Right, give me that bolt. Get me another one ready.
Alright, so all we're doing is putting a little bit of removable Loctite. Do not use real Loctite. They'll never come off again. We're putting it on here. That way the bolts don't come loose.
There's all your bolts.
Here's one.
And I was just starting them all before you get them one tight.
Yeah, that way you make sure all of them can actually go in.
Line up.
This is Change Your Axle for Dummies 101. We got a fence builder, an engineer, and a damn truck driver
No,
trying to work on this.
I'm a jack of all trades.
Jack off all trades?
Hey, if you're streaming this, don't you be talking that mess. I do it all. Just don't play video games very well.
Yeah, me and Dad live stream on Call of Duty, and we get our ass whooped. Alright, well you can pause that. We got this part. Oh, and forgot to mention, guys, make sure you put some of that RTV on your drain cap just in case so it doesn't leak any fluid. Just put a little bit on there because you don't want it to be super tight to get off if they ever have to come off again, but put a little bit. I was told to do that so it doesn't leak. But as you can see, there's our gasket maker stuff right here. This gray. That's what I forgot what kind we used. It's this it says gasket maker on it. I got it AutoZone and it's in this green tube. It seems to be working pretty good. I already put 1 quart in here. I think it takes a little over 2 quarts, maybe 3. I don't even know. But once we're done with this, we're pretty much done. I just gotta put the wheels back on the one side and the brakes on the other. It's dark already. I ain't gonna lie. If you got the money, pay someone to do this, because this shit took all day. Alright guys, so it's the next morning. I waited, I already got the brakes on the other side, but that's pretty much the last thing I gotta do. I filled all the fluid up, diffs put back together and everything. I'm just putting the caliper on right now, some new pads. I got brand new rotors and studs for the rear. I did it on both sides. I'll show you. If I had the money, I would have got new calipers. Those look terrible, but it looks way nicer with brand new rotors and stuff. So sorry, I'm kind of tired, I ain't gonna lie, but I already got new ones in there. They already rusted a little bit, but it's fine. But yeah, these are the new ones I got for the rear, and that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully this helps. I'm sure there's better videos out there, but I feel like I did a good job covering the things that I didn't understand. So there may be things in my video that you won't catch from someone else's. Because everything that I had questions about, I'd have to go look at another video, and I tried to cover the things that didn't make any sense to me. So overall, if you have the right tools, it's not terrible. Also, if you have help, don't do this by yourself. This shit is terrible. It's so much easier when you got somebody that can be under the vehicle while someone can be outside of the vehicle. That's what I recommend. I wouldn't I wouldn't recommend doing it by yourself. You can, but you're gonna have to get up and down 1,000 times. Unless you got to lift. You got to lift. You're golden. So, it's gonna take me forever to clean all of this fluid out. So I'm not looking forward to it. Sorry for all the trash. We made a mess with cleaning stuff, but see this groove right here? This is what was wrong with the axle. The bearing had literally completely broken, so it literally put a 1/4 inch groove in this damn axle.